Yeah, good morning. I'm very happy to be here and have the opportunity to share some experience with SCION at the Cyber Defense Campus. But first, what is the Cyber Defense Campus? It's a national initiative that was initiated by the government, in particular by the Department of Defense, Civil Protection and Sport, by armasuisse. In 2019, it was a reaction to a cyber attack we had in 2017 in Switzerland, with the goal to strengthen the cybersecurity, the cyber defense in Switzerland. The campus is not a campus in the literal sense, so there is no physical campus, but you have to think of it more as a collaboration network. So it's a collaboration effort. In Switzerland, we have many organizations from industry, from academia that have good skills, strong skills in cybersecurity topics, and the goal is to bring these organizations together and to create value from this network. So far, in 2019, when we started, we opened two labs. One here in Zurich. We started at ETH. We were here at ETH for 3 years, and have now our own offices near the main station. We have opened also a lab at the EPFL in the Innovation Park, and we have our headquarters at armasuisse in Thun. So what we do different things. We do research, innovation. We do also security testing. We monitor technologies and do technology transfer, and we also recruit and develop talents in the area of cyber defense. So what's our journey, our SCION journey? And here I want to explain how we came into contact with SCION. And this starts already a pretty long time ago, actually before the Cyber Defense Campus existed. So 2012, I met for the first time with Adrian Peric. This is a picture of him. He looks a little bit younger. That's an older picture when he came back from CMU, and we had a lunch together, and he was explaining me the basic concept of SCION and how he wanted to develop this. So we had an interesting discussion. At the beginning, honestly, I was a little bit skeptical. Why? Because many people back then, at that time, many universities, many researchers have thought of reinventing the internet. And many have tried, but it's a really difficult problem, and many have also failed. So I was a little bit skeptical, but I said, yeah, it's an interesting idea. But we just went apart and didn't collaborate directly. Then we were following, and in 2017, then suddenly an Apaya system was created, and then for us, okay, interesting. Now there is a startup that wants to commercialize the technology, so this raised our attention. And suddenly, 2020, for us, this was the milestone, an important milestone. Suddenly, we had in Switzerland 3 internet service providers that were coming to us and said, well, we can offer to you a SCION connection. Well, that's quite cool, right? Because now, I mean, that's a technology that is commercially provided by these providers, so we don't need to build it ourselves, and we can get this service. So we then took very quickly the decision, well, we really need to know more about this, and we decided directly that we need to build a test bed. We need to build a national test bed to better understand the implications of this technology for us at the Department of Defense, but also in general for the cybersecurity of Switzerland. So then, we also, at the same time, we launched our first research projects with ETH. I mean, we were, of course, collaborating a lot in various topics with ETH, but we also started to investigate more in details also and do some research projects with ETH on the particular topic of SCION. Then it took some time. Well, there is some bureaucracy, and there was also COVID, so things take some time. But in 2022, finally, we were all able to inaugurate our Cyber Defense Campus network. And this year, we are even extending this deployment with a new site in Tallinn, in Estonia. There is a center supported by the NATO called CCD COE, and we have also Switzerland is a contributing nation to this center. We have an employee there, from Switzerland. And we now have also a connection there in Tallinn that connects to our SCION network. So that's pretty exciting. That's a picture that is from the November 24th. That was the inauguration of our new offices in Zurich. And what you can see here on this picture is Tony Eder, that's the General Secretary of the Ministry of Defense in Switzerland, the second highest person in our department after the Federal Councillor. He came to the inauguration and he had the opportunity to take the cable and plug it into the switch. And this was the start of our SCION deployment. Pretty exciting moment, unforgettable. We had invited a lot of people to participate and to share this moment with us. Why is this so exciting? Because on the other side, we connected basically our 3 sites in Lausanne, Thun, and Zurich. In Thun, we had the fireworks and a camera taking a video of it. And as soon as he actually put the cable into the switch, the picture came up, and we could see the firework in Zurich that was happening in Thun over a SCION connection. I think it's a very similar analogy to when the first TCP/IP packets were sent. And this is, for us, it was a very similar, unforgettable moment. So what are the goals? What are we actually doing this? Why are we building this SCION network at the Cyber Defense Campus? We have a couple of ideas. First, we want to disseminate the technology in the security and defense environment, in defense for the armed forces, critical infrastructure, also in NATO settings. These are typically very conservative environments, so it's not easy to come up with new technologies, and we see our role to really support the dissemination of this new technology in this environment. We want to also gain some experience, and not with the technology itself, but also with not only with the technology, but also with the commercial service providers. We have seen previously in the morning these different service providers, and we want to also gain some experience how they offer the service, how they implement it, how secure is their implementation, and so on. And also, quite important for us is to support Swiss innovation in security in general, but also in networking. That's our main raison d'être. The Cyber Defense Campus is there in Switzerland to support Swiss innovation in this domain. So that's why we are taking this role also with this technology, which we believe as an interesting future. So how is our deployment? So we connected the 3 sites. That's in Zurich, in Thun, and in Lausanne. What we did, we took 3 different service providers. That was very important to us because it's inter-domain routing protocol. So there need to be different domains and different providers to have also some diversity. So we took Switch, Swisscom, and Sunrise. These are our 3 providers that connect the 3 different sites. We didn't build our own isolation domain, so we are part of the Swiss isolation domain, and we can communicate. What we have is we have different routers there. We use this also to test other technologies and routing protocols. We have connected also Wi-Fi's and cameras and so on, so to this network and doing different types of tests. And as I said, we also have this year expanded this network with a site in Tallinn. So what are the relevant use cases that we have identified? Well, the first one in cyber defense, the first one is an alternative to MPLS and leased lines. Today, in particular in security environments, what you do, you build your own networks to have them secure and isolated, but this is, we heard it this morning, this is quite expensive. So you have to invest a lot of money in these lines, but also in the management of the infrastructure. And there is a huge potential for cost savings if you have a network that has similar security properties as these dedicated self-operated networks, but provided by ISPs, but with a technology that can provide you security guarantees. So there is a huge cost saving opportunity here that we think is of interest. A second use case that we think is interesting is routing of sensitive international traffic. If you want to send traffic to Estonia, Of course, you can encrypt it, but there are still attacks possible in the network, and even if your network is encrypted, there are traffic analysis attacks which have shown that you can still recover a lot of information from the network. So there it's interesting that you can have better security if you want to route your traffic over different countries. And the third use case we have in mind is the path selection based on router properties. Today, the network is more or less a black box, but if you want to have more control, this is exactly what SCION was designed for. And having more control in the network, this is an interesting use case that we actually have investigated, and that we had some research project together with the ETH, the group of Adrian and David. And this is a paper that we published 2 months ago at in Los Angeles at Usenix Security, which basically is a complex title, I admit, but basically it's a system based on SCION that should allow you to get more control in your network. Because today, networks, the internet is basically a black box. You have no control. If you want to send your data from Switzerland to Estonia, you just send it, but you have no control of what's going on to happen to your network. But as a user, you may be interested, for example, to limit or to specify the path and the routers that your traffic should take. For example, you may not want your traffic to be routed over routers from Huawei or routers from Cisco or whatever type of manufacturer because you don't trust them. So this could be something that you want to specify as a policy. Or maybe you don't want to route your traffic through a certain country because also there are some legislation issues, juristic issues, or just because you don't trust that country. So you want to get control of how you can send your traffic. So what we did here in this work, we developed a system called Fabric that allows you, based on SCION, it's an extension of SCION, that get more control and specify different properties that your routers should have when your traffic is forwarded. And here are typical properties that we came up with that are interesting. We also made a survey with different users to get some feedback. What are the properties that are really relevant for users, and also what properties are they even willing to pay for? And these are a couple of interesting properties that users may want to have the control, like the manufacturer, the hardware, the software. What kind of software? Maybe there are some routers that have vulnerabilities in them, and you don't want to route over those. You want to restrict the geolocation, the jurisdiction, or even you may want to route your traffic based on particular patterns of CO2 emissions. So this is all the things we want to be able to do. And with the system, we want even to verify this information is correct. So that's why we have also some verifiability and attestation properties in Fabric. So we tested this in the lab. So basically this graph just shows that it works, and it works at decent performance. So we don't lose performance. We can extend SCION with these policies, and you will be able then to control the traffic according to these properties that I've shown on the previous slide. That's pretty exciting. What we are also doing with our system is at the moment, that's something that is currently going on, but I want to share this today with you, is we're together with the NATO Center in Tallinn. We are building this cyber training range, and because the center organizes every year an international cyber defense exercise, and Switzerland also participates every year with a team, and the idea there is to have some also 5G equipment in it. And what we are building now at the moment is actually a 5G network on top of SCION. So we have our 4 sites, 3 in Switzerland and 1 in Estonia. We are connecting them over SCION. We have a 5G core based on open source software in Switzerland, in Thun, and we have access points, 5G access at the different sites. And basically, this is an infrastructure that we're building, mainly at the moment for training, so that we can train different type of cyber defense cyber defense exercises, which can train people, but we can also use it to test the security of 5G. And we are also this year, next month, starting also to have an evaluation, security evaluation of the deployment, as we have received it from these internet service providers, to have some pen testing, to check out the different features, security of SCION itself. So that's currently going on, and we expect to have more results on that next year. With that, I want to close my presentation with this quote, and we have heard it from Marcel, that actually the SCION deployment and the SCION vision is really a collaboration effort, and improvements in this area in networking are very high, and they require the cooperation of many minds. But I think at the moment here in Switzerland, we have a very unique opportunity, because we have actually now this unique ecosystem of users that are interested in technology. We have researchers that are developing also the technology, and we have the industry deploying it. So I think it's a really exciting moment to be, and we are also very happy to be part of this ecosystem and to make our contribution to push the technology. With that, thank you very much for your attention. I'm happy to take questions.